One, it's certainly a privilege and a pleasure to be here once again to conduct county business. It's good to see each of you who are physically present in the chamber this morning, and for those who are joining us online, we welcome you. I just want to read a portion of scripture if we're ready. If not, we can certainly wait. All right, look like the church is ready. Let me just read this, please. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. Father, we come before you this morning just to say thank you for your grace, your mercy, and your loving kindness. We thank you for another opportunity together in this chamber, and we welcome those who are physically present, those who are online. And we ask, Lord God, as we call upon you, that you would hear us. We know, Lord God, that some of us are wearied in our minds, and we ask that you would heal our troubled minds. Some of us have broken hearts, and we ask that you would mend our broken hearts. And some of us, Lord God, has physical health problems, and we ask that you would mend these old wearied bodies. We thank you now for another opportunity to just come before you and to conduct the business of county government. We thank you for all the guests who have come, Lord God, from a long distance to help us understand what we should be doing as it relates to oversight of various programs that we have. And we just ask that you would be with us as we conduct the business of the people. We thank you for entrusting this responsibility to us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Good morning. Commissioner Harris.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All.
Good morning.
Scheduled attendees at today's meeting: World's Greatest Sheriff Derek Cunningham, Risk Manager Melissa Peak, Founder Robin Booth with Booth Management Consulting, and the Executive Director Pam Hughes with the Mid-South RC&D Council. Items to be considered at the 10 o'clock session: we have one unfinished business item. Consider amendment to the ARPA Montgomery Thrive Small Business Program. Item number 4, consider grant application for the Stepping Up Initiative. Item number 5, consider sale of 10 decommissioned vehicles. Item number 6, consider grounds usage agreement with Auburn University Montgomery for the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office annual Easter egg hunt. Item number 7, consider agreement with Latham Associates Architects for architectural design services concerning District 2 maintenance shop facility. Item number 8, consider budget change request number 2. Item number 9, consider bid award to Conway Outdoor Services to provide landscape maintenance services at the industrial park. Item number 10, consider bid award to Acme Supply Company Limited to provide inmate uniforms. Item number 11, consider miscellaneous appropriations to agencies. Are there any additions? Item number 12, consider miscellaneous appropriations to education. And item number 13, consider miscellaneous appropriations from designated revenue. Item 14,
Yes,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Kendall, I want to call on my fellow commissioners, those who haven't already, to join the three of us, Doug and Justin and I, in supporting this year's ASF annual fundraising gala. I think it's going to cost each of us a couple $1,000s a piece in order to purchase $10,000 sponsorship.
Since you asked, I'll consent $2,000 from the designated revenue.
All right, Commissioner Sankey, is $2,000 designated revenue for Alabama Shakespeare Festival.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Are there any other additions? All right, item 14, consider a travel and training request for the commission, detention, probate, revenue, and the sheriff. All right. We have waived rule items this morning. The first two are with Sheriff Derek Cunningham, the world's greatest sheriff. Would you come on down, sir? Item number 1, as the sheriff is making his way down, is to consider I don't know what the acronym is, so I'm not going to try, the BJA FY 2025 Local Law Enforcement Crime Gun Intelligence Center Integration Initiative Grant Application. And Derek is going to help him explain.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
The Sheriff's Department has found a grant opportunity to implement the Crime Gun Intelligence Center over at the former Carnegie Building. This grant opportunity will provide us an opportunity to build off of the NIBIN system that we already received in our previous State Crisis Intervention Program grant. And we're seeking approval for this grant. There's no match. Equipment is looking around $300,000. And we're seeking approval for this.
Fully support. Any questions on that one? I need a motion to waive rules on this item.
So moved.
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2,
Oh, aye.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. There was
That
a,
was a yes vote.
Yeah, we good.
we good.
We'll waive rules on that.
I apologize. There are only 3 waive rule items. Item number 1 and number 2 are the same. Consider grant application to Lowe's Home Improvement.
Commissioner, same situation with this grant. Although not law enforcement, this grant would be used to revitalize community spaces. We've identified that the old high school building at MCAC, the roof needs repairs and the parking lot needs accommodation. So the grant department recommends seeking out this opportunity. Again, there's no match, and we have quotes coming in around $300,000 so far.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's,
How much is the grant?
There is no identified match with the grant. The grant just specifies just revitalizing community spaces.
But you know, no dollar amount?
well, it's I think it's up to $300,000 possibility.
Yes, sir.
For that, but there is no required match. And I do have to give Lowe's a shout out. They helped us when our building at the fair got demolished and all, and Lowe's has really stepped up in the community and helped a lot. So I would need a motion to waive rules on this item.
This the first time we're trying to get a roof for that particular facility?
This is not the gym, which we just replaced the roof on the gym. This is the part as you're coming back toward the fields. This is that building. So that building needs some roof repair as well.
Yeah, there's
And this
water
would
coming
also
in.
provide us an opportunity to go ahead and pave that parking lot and kind of get that parking lot where it needs to be.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I thought I remembered some about a roof in the past. Okay.
Yeah, it's leaking now in some areas, some rooms. In there,
Yes.
we do have water. So, motion, Dan, you got a question?
No, not really.
Can I get a motion to waive rules?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
And the item number 3, consider bid award to Montgomery Armored Car Service for armored car services. This was a request and approval on the bid to the only responsible bidder, Montgomery Armored Car Services, to provide armored car services. This is for probate and tax and audit. The amount of the bid is $21,743.04. And this has been reviewed by the county attorney and as well as Terry Henderson and LaToya Barker.
I know this starts April the 1st, and that's the reason for the waive rules, but is there a reason that this is just now coming to us?
Yes, we had to get some contract language straight. And so if we did not do a waive rules, that means it would have expired and we would not be able to get it done, which means that time period, we would not have an armored car service.
All right, I need a motion to waive rules.
Oh, you waiting on me?
Yeah.
Wait on anybody.
I didn't want to be dominant.
Is there a
Motion that we move.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 All right, we'll waive rules on that one.
All right, future agenda items. Item number 4, consider sale of 3 decommissioned vehicles from the sheriff's office.
We've had that numerous times. That'll be next agenda.
All right. Item number 5, consider updated nationwide financial services incorporated governmental 457 plan adoption agreement. Melissa is available if you have any questions.
Yeah, what is that plan, Melissa?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is an optional plan that we provide to our employees. The county does not put any funds into it. Basically, a 457 plan is similar to a 401K plan. If an employee wishes to save additional funds in addition to what they want to contribute to RSA, or what they need to contribute to RSA, they can opt to sign up for this plan. It is a retirement investment plan. We've had it for a number of years. And this document, basically, we're trying to update the plan agreement to reflect current laws and what we are practicing.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it now.
That'll be next agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Item number 6, consider professional services contract with Dominion Resources LLC regarding the 2026 tax sale. If you all have any questions, Allison is available.
If not, that'll be next agenda.
Item number 7, consider bid award for the exterior renovation of 350 Adams Avenue. On last Wednesday, we had 8 bidders submit bids for the exterior renovation of 350 Adams Avenue. The low bidder was Roofing Solutions with a low bid of $493,000. We originally budgeted this project for $700,000 in the FY 2026 budget.
Kendall,
Yes, sir.
what are the plans? What are the plans for that building?
We have several options for that building. Once we finish the exterior renovation, we really need to get on the inside. The inside needs work as well. We can move some departments in and around that building. We really do need the space, Commissioner, but in terms of what's going to be in there, it's something that we'll probably have to discuss later.
Could that be a future homes site for our Human Resources Department?
It could. Many a thing can fit. That is, you guys can decide that at a later time.
Roofing Solutions.
So no specific plans right now for it.
No specific plans, but right now, because we don't want the building to continue to deteriorate, and from time to time, we are having spacing issues when we have to do a renovation or a department is expanding. We're kind of out of space, and so the building being ours, we need to make sure that we keep good care of it. And I don't know when the last time you all have been able to visit that building. It has great views. It has, as we like to say, good bones, and so we just need to make sure that we're taking good care of it.
Well, I'm not questioning whether or not it should be renovated. I'm just thinking about how we can use it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're thinking about it. We've been thinking about it. So it's probably a bigger discussion for budget, and hopefully by budget, we may have an idea of how much it may cost to renovate on the inside and potentially put that in the budget, as well as have a greater discussion on what we can put in there.
Okay.
Roofing Solutions, are they out of Montgomery, or do you know?
I think Mr. Allen is not here, but they're not out there. They have an office here, but they are headquartered elsewhere.
Okay. All right, that'll be next agenda.
All right. Item number 8, consider amendment to Jackson Hospital Agreement. This is an amendment that was requested by Jackson Hospital and their legal team. You can see the proposed 2 amendments. It says in B, Jackson Hospital shall provide the county administrator a copy of its annual financial audit to include all use and allocations of the funding, and Part C, that the 7.5 increments to be paid over a 3-year period in 27 would occur no later than the first day of February in 27, 28, and 29.
What is the difference, Mr. Chairman? What is the difference between what we currently have and these two amendments? Now, it says here, they lined out this requirement that Jackson bear the expense of the audit. Now, in lieu of them bearing the expense, what are we doing with that? And the payment, the incremental payments of the 7.5 million, how did that language change? What are we doing differently? But I most want to know about the expense of the audit. Who's supposed to pay for that if they don't pay for it? Is that where they're saying that they want some options?
Well, this being Jackson Hospital and it being their hospital, I would assume they would pay for their audit, but that's a discussion to have with them. I don't see John Quinn living here, but this is when we provide them with the funding agreement. This is one of the things that we discussed, and he sent it back, and I said, well, I can put this in front of the commission, but we may need to have a further discussion about this.
We do, because I don't understand what they're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner, thank you. We need to have further discussion on this matter.
Kind of had some input as
Yeah,
well.
I think they're still gonna pay for the audit. And previously, it said that, I think they will still pay for the audit. Previously, it said Jackson has the duty to now do an audit and provide us with a copy, and you pay for it. But the way I understand this revision is they're doing an audit anyway, and there's no need to have that provision in there about they will bear the expense. It just says, we will provide you with a copy of our annual audit. So my understanding is they will still pay for their own audit. We're not paying for their
I'm
audit.
not understanding that. Now, you know, we can't assume.
Yeah, we need to be clear.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Commissioner.
I just said we need to be clear on that. And that's not clear. It seems like they're getting rid of responsibility of paying for it. Otherwise, why would they even mention it?
Because they're already doing their own audit anyway. It says Jackson will
But
provide the county with its
why
own audit.
would they address the expense of it? You know, I mean, if they're already doing it and they're already paying for it, then everything's fine.
Well, we can certainly ask for clarification.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we need
I
that.
think that the reasonable interpretation, and my interpretation, was they're gonna do their own audit, and of course, they're gonna pay for their own audit. Why would we pay for their audit? But anyway,
We'll reach out and we will get clarity and we'll make sure we have that information to the commission before the next meeting.
And I have another question. What is the status of the bankruptcy proceedings?
Kind of, have you received
Connie?
anything?
all
Connie?
I know at this point is the bankruptcy court has approved our original agreement with Jackson, the one that's already been approved, and this one will have to be approved as well.
Well, the state had the right idea about this, and it was the same idea that I had. The governor held up that money until they got out of bankruptcy, which is the thing I wanted us to do, and so that we don't end up having to contribute money to keep hospital services in Montgomery twice. But hopefully they're on their way out of bankruptcy
Right.
if they're going to spend up all the money. But anyway, I just appreciate it if you check and make sure where they are and how soon they'll be getting out of bankruptcy, Connie.
I will,
Keep us up on that.
sure will.
Any other questions or comments? Be next agenda.
Item number 9, board nomination for the Montgomery County Community Cooperative District. Need a nomination for a board member to replace me.
Yeah, the city, my understanding, the city has decided upon LeBaron Boone to represent them on the Cooperative District Board, so LeBaron will be coming on as a new member along with Cedric Campbell, who we voted for last meeting. I'm very excited and enthusiastic about our new board members, but we need one more now to replace the spot that Kendall Anderson was in.
Does the person have to be someone that's from the county?
No. I would, as we've had this discussion, it probably needs to be somebody that's from the community and not an employee of Montgomery County Commission.
Can we get back with you on that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to make sure it was out there so that you all have time to present somebody and
Yeah, I mean,
get
it's
some
not, it don't have to be
names.
done today or
No,
next
sir.
week. We just need to make sure we get the right person.
Correct.
And again, Cedric, I thought was the right person. LeBaron Boone, I think, is the right person. And so we've, even Bobby John.
Drinker, yes.
The last three that we've added have been very solid additions to the board. So we just need to, we don't want to hurry and put somebody on there just to put somebody on there. So let's make sure we try to get the right person.
Correct. Item number 10, resolution opposing House Bill 556, creation, funding, and operation of the Montgomery County Legislative Delegation Office.
Yeah, I'd asked Kendall and Cody to come up with a resolution because I am adamantly opposed to House Bill 556, where the Montgomery County Legislative Delegation is requesting that the city provide a facility, a office space, and we, the county, would have to furnish that office space and add
The
three-
city furnishes the space
City furnished it, well, we got.
and the equipment.
I thought we had to decorate it.
No. All we're responsible for is the fund and the employees.
No,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir. Hey, Dan.
has there been any discussion with the delegation on this and negotiating? Because my understanding is that, I mean, I'd like to be on record. I really don't oppose them having an office. They can have what they want to have. But my understanding is that after the office is established, there will be available to them funds to actually pay for personnel and things that they need. And I think that, we should have some kind of discussion with them and try to negotiate and let them know we won't oppose it if you're going to get the funds to pay for your help.
Oh, yeah, I agree with 100%, Commissioner Harris. I don't oppose them having an office. I think Terry Sewell has an office now, and Shamari Figures has an office. I fully support them having an office here, but we don't pay for their employees.
Right.
Well, I mean, and like I said, I think that we should have that discussion with them because my understanding is that there might be funds available for them to access after the office is set up to actually pay for the personnel and stuff like that. So we need to talk to them about that and try not to just do this adversarially, but to try to come together with some kind of amicable agreement on how we're going to do this. And if they can promise to seek those funds and get that done, then maybe we can do this, because we're going to be needing each other going forward.
That's my understanding too, that Commissioner Harris is saying that there are funds coming to subsidize them having help.
Yeah, what they're talking about doing is adding a vaping tax, and the vaping tax would.
No, that's not where it is. There's other funds. My conversation didn't involve any vaping tax. But that might be
So let's
something that's
continue the
gonna come.
conversation with them. I think we should continue the conversation with them and see before we get something together posing.
And hopefully we can do that before the bill
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
up.
they're gonna be out of session by the time we meet again.
Yep.
I mean, this is gonna be done by the time we meet again. And right now, as the bill reads, the county would have to provide for a lead person supervisor and 2 administrative assistants that would be full-time county employees, full-time county benefits, that would serve at the pleasure of the legislative body, which is not us. So they're gonna pick their employees, they're gonna serve at their pleasure, and we're gonna have to pay for them. We gotta pay their benefits, their salary, and if they do anything wrong, they have any type of problems in the office, then we gotta defend them because they're county employees, but we can't fire them.
Well, my point is we should have been talking to them about that because, I mean, they should be state employees and we should have
I
been
agree.
talking to them about how we're going to get this thing paid for instead of just out opposing and creating this kind of adversarial situation between us and them. We're going to need them more than they're going to need us.
And I agree.
In the future. So, I mean, we either way, that bill's going to pass. So if we have an opportunity, even if it's today, talking to them and seeing if we can get that arrangement and that clear with them, you know, I think that's a positive move. But either way, I mean, this resolution is not going to stop that bill from being passed.
And Commissioners, we have talked about this at our breakfasts that we've had over in the Sheriff's Department, the joint breakfasts for the past 2 or 3 years. It's been talked that the local delegation wants another office here in Montgomery County, similar to what they have in Huntsville and Mobile. And my objection has always been that Huntsville and Mobile, they can't meet with their constituents here in Montgomery and ask them to come all the way to Montgomery to meet. So they do, I can understand if we were not the capital city, but their request is to provide another office, and the city is adamantly opposed against it too, not just me. But they're asking us to provide them another office between the city and the county, and for the county to, the city, whoever's going to decorate it, and then we have to maintain 3 full-time county employees, and they got a brand-new state house right up the road that's going to be the finest state house in the country, and they've got clerks, and they all have an office, and they have multiple meeting rooms. I've been on the commission 9 years, and not once have I had a constituent in my district say, Doug, I want to meet with you, and I'll come downtown to your office here to meet. We go out and meet them at their place. We go to them because the issue they have is at their location. So I think it's overuse of the tax dollars to provide an office, another additional office.
What I'm saying is, see, I've had a conversation with them, and if you listen to them, they can make the case. I don't know if you've ever tried to get into that state house to see one of those representatives, but it's not an easy
It's
task.
impossible, just
And a lot
about.
of people, please let me finish. And there are a lot of people that they represent that would be unable to even access them as long as they're in that state office. And my understanding is down there, they actually have clerks, but they share clerks with others. So you got 2 clerks servicing 14 representatives. So they can make the case for having a separate office. I don't oppose that. I oppose us having to pay for it. You know, I mean, I think they can make the case that they need one. I mean, that it would make them more accessible to their constituents, and I can understand that because I've tried to get in that state house back when Alvin Holmes was up there and had trouble getting in there. So I know some of their constituents wouldn't be able to get in there. So that's not the question with me. And so I think that if we can work out something where they will at least seek the funds, promise to seek the funds to pay for the expense of that office, and maybe we could have even negotiate those employees being state employees as opposed to county employees. I think we approached this whole thing wrong. I think we should have, instead of just directly being opposed to it, tried to work with them and work this thing out. That's what I'm saying.
Commissioner Harris, but again, I concur that if they're going to pay for it, which certainly, I'm not opposed to if they're going to pay for it, but I think they had an obligation or responsibility as well to come to us to help, you know, clarify what it is that we're trying to do. Now, if we're having to pay for it, I'm certainly not in favor of it if we're having to pay for it, because the county association, ACCA, has taken a position that county should not be burdened with any unfunded mandates. And that's always been their position. So if we don't have to pay for it, they can have them in as often as they want to, and hopefully we can find some space in here somewhere on the county campus for them. But again, I think perhaps we agree that we should not be saddled with the bill.
And Commissioner
Yeah,
Harris,
we're in agreement on that. I don't hold it against them for trying to get all they can get. First off, it was up to us to come up with a counter.
well, Commissioner Sankey, I do agree with Commissioner Sankey. We've had these breakfast meetings, and they have brought this up to us, and I have said it multiple times. Again, I don't have a problem with y'all having an office. We will look to try to help you, provide you space. My issue's always been that the county should not pay for the employees if the state would pay for it. The issue is the state is not going to provide them offices, and they're not going to provide them employees for this. They don't provide it in Huntsville, they don't provide it in Mobile, and Birmingham had a local delegation office in Birmingham. They've discontinued that. If the state's willing to pay for the employees, again, I have no issue. We have had that conversation multiple times in breakfasts, and again, when we work very well with our local delegation. This resolution today, which I'm pulling, by the way, since I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off the table. But again, I just cannot see having an additional office. I go to the State House at least one day a week, 2 days during the session every week. You walk in the front door, you sign your name showing you're there, you go through security, and then you can go walk into any meeting. Commissioner Sankey went to one last week when I was in. So it's not hard to get into the State House today. I don't know what it was like years ago, but today it's not. But again, if they want an office, I'm all for them having an office. It's just having 3 full-time county employees that serve at their pleasure, that they hire and they fire, and if they do anything wrong, and then we're responsible, and that's my issue. And that has been, again, that has been communicated. I've reached out to 2 or 3 of those that, Lawrence Haskell and to Chris Sales, all 3, and I have not gotten a return phone call from any of them. So I have been trying to talk to them about this. But we'll pull this resolution, Kendall, for today. For now, we'll just leave it like it is.
Okay. All right. And item number 11, consider criteria for funding agreements for the Maxwell Gateway projects. At the last meeting, we had a funding agreement for Montgomery Whitewater for the Maxwell Gateway funding pot. And I think at that time, it was determined by Commissioner Sankey and Moore Ziegler that they wanted to sit down and craft some criteria for that. This is criteria that is very similar to the funding agreement with Montgomery Whitewater, but it is something that is probably a starting point. So I think as you, the 2 of you probably would want to sit down in the next week or so and see if we can begin crafting some language that I think we will be comfortable going out to all entities that will be interested in applying for this funding pot, and also talk about steps for that going down the road.
Yes, we certainly can do that. I'm hoping that we can get this on the agenda for a formal vote before the money runs out. Have we actually allocated any additional funding to Whitewater since we started talking about this?
They have sent a request in for funding, yes, sir.
It may not do any good after a while. If they deplete all the funding, then I don't see where we need an agreement.
Well, we need to have an agreement. We have to have an agreement, and if anything else comes along, we will need to have something in place. So I share your feelings, but we do have to have an agreement. All right. So we finished all of our items. We will now welcome to the podium Frank Robinson is here with the City of Montgomery, and Robin Booth is here with Booth Management Consulting. We all know Frank with the City of Montgomery. He's the Economic Development Director. But I want to take the time to introduce Ms. Robin Booth, who is with Booth Management Consulting. She has, over the last year, has been our ARPA monitor. And she and her team, Booth Management Consulting out of Maryland, have been fantastic, and we have had a great relationship, and we really appreciate it. And at the last minute, when we started talking about the small business program and making this shift out of a loan into a grant program, we spoke with Robin, and Robin said, let me talk to the city. Let me see what their thoughts are. And then she called us back. She said, guys, I'm coming to Montgomery. And so we really appreciate Robin, her quick availability to make herself available. She actually got here Sunday, spent time yesterday talking to the city in person, and she is here today to kind of give us her summation, next steps. And so I'm going to turn it over to Frank, and Frank is going to turn it over to Robin.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kendall and Commissioners. Good
Frank,
morning.
get close to that mic so they can get you.
Yeah.
Is it turned on?
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much. Can you hear me now? Thank you so much. Good morning. And I'm going to get out the way, really, because we had a really good session with Robin, and I'm going to let her speak. I know that we have done this. I just want to give a couple of just opening remarks, addressing a few things, and then turn it over to Robin to give the meat of the presentation. I want to say, appreciated your opening prayer, Commissioner Sankey, and the spirit of kind of what you're saying, because that's what we want to do. This county-city partnership is important for a lot of things, but especially for small businesses. And we want to continue to grow. We want to continue to grow together, and we share the same goal, the prosperity of our region, the prosperity of our county, prosperity of our businesses and our neighbors. When ARPA Small Businesses program was launched nationwide, they were designed to support existing small businesses. But what happened disproportionately when it was impacted by COVID-19, the earliest rollout of this program had an intentional consequence. It benefited really big businesses, Fortune 500 companies, rather than small businesses. As guidance evolved and the next several rounds came out, ARPA funding expanding access to traditional small businesses and paired them with hands-on technical assistance. Like many communities, as I was consulting at that time with ARPA communities, and Montgomery was working quickly, really quickly, without a lot of guidance, without a lot of infrastructure to get these programs up and running. Without the existing entity to do that, the city and county decided to obligated funds to two tracks: Hope Credit Union for lending, supported by city outreach. Some of those businesses went directly to Hope, and they had their own brand of technical assistance. Meanwhile, SBOSS was also created to provide another avenue for technical assistance and navigation needed to prepare businesses for lending stabilization. The intent behind all these remain the same. What we're proposing today, and what Robin's going to help present as we work through it yesterday, is an implementational adjustment. It's not a structural shift. We are committed, as you are committed, to strengthening our small business ecosystem. What the implementation showed was clear. The joint efforts that we had with Hope and others, we had a readiness issue. Unfiled taxes, inconsistent bookkeeping, incomplete finances, lease documentation, lack of business practices and processes. These realities showed when we had these loan programs and some of the programs we have, and even some of the most seasoned businesses in our community lack the financial system to take advantage of the program, and we cannot ignore this. SBOSS is ready and trusted. It's an entry point for both the city and the county. In the document I shared with you by email a week ago, it showed that we served 596 businesses, supported 101 jobs, and delivered over 7,200 hours of direct engagement in the various capacities. My plea to you, my plea also to our city council, is that we do not need to disengage, not at this moment. We need to evolve. I ask for your patience and your partnership, as well as your trust, as we're strengthening this ecosystem together. Like any other program started with the best intentions, there were unintended consequences. But abandoning the efforts is not an option. We must evolve. Our residents deserve that, as well as our businesses. Our solution, the vibrant small business pathways, is going to reobligate the funding to a new level of awareness. What you decide today, what we decide today, will shape the region, the ecosystem for our small businesses, not just for the year, but for the next decade. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Robin, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to share that with you, how important this is at this moment in time. Thank you so much.
Good morning, good morning. First of all, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank the commission and to thank really Montgomery County for selecting our firm to provide you all with ARPA compliance reporting and monitoring. I didn't have a chance to thank you when we got the award, but we really appreciate the opportunity. What I don't know if I can use this. What I want to focus in on is that we've been doing this at this point with 22 municipalities across the country. We've implemented small business programs using ARPA funds probably for over 1,000, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 small businesses across the country. So when I got the call that there was potentially a need to reevaluate or re-strategize on small business, I immediately was able to go to a template of small business programs that we've implemented in counties and cities in similar size to Montgomery County and been able to roll them out very quickly. Time is of the essence here because, as we all know, December 31st, 2026, ARPA funds have to be spent. And you really have little flexibility in how you can deobligate these funds. I'll try to stay away from those kind of words and terms. To keep it plain, you can't move it around too much, and you got to spend it by December 31st. That's kind of where you are at this particular point. So this program, and the slide presentation is to really show you how we've already really developed it. The program I'm proposing, for us to roll out would take about 15 days because we've done it. So we have the forms, we have the templates, we have the compliance requirements, but we've also seen the economic benefits that it's had in other similar sized counties, as close as Georgia that we represent, so that have similar demographics to you all. So it's about small business, a grant, as opposed to a loan. Now, I started my company 28 years ago, so I know how important capital infusion is for a small business, and I know how critical it can be when you're recovering from something like COVID. So I look at where we are, and thank God I'm a little bit farther along than a lot, but I know when economic impact for a small business, the cash flow, the actual capital injection in the business is even more critical than necessarily a loan or even ability to get the loan. This is one-time money. We probably will never see this again. And for your communities and for your small businesses to be able to really capitalize and be a part of that whole process, the part of this COVID recovery monies, this has been a very effective program. If you actually ever go through, I know nobody have a chance to read ARPA reports like I do. I'm a little anal with this ARPA stuff. So if you ever go look and you look at how these similar programs, this is a program that has been tested and trued throughout. And we just took advantage of it and used it for our clients. So it is about a grant. It is about continued technical assistance. Technical assistance is not just showing up and coaching them. Technical assistance is working with them hand in glove because they need it. They don't necessarily understand. What's my financial statement? I don't even know what I'm reading, but I know I got to have one. Well, if you don't understand the importance of it, you won't put too much value on it. So I'm not with the slides. I just want to show you that it's vetted and thought it out. And so, of course, we can make it available to you, but I'm not going to read all these slides. But it's already shaped. We can move tomorrow if the city and the county, approval for this program. And then key advantages. We get this money out in time. We get it out in time. Small businesses have a chance to really utilize it, and we're compliant with federal regulations. Increased access, but no debt burden. We're not putting additional debt on small businesses. We're giving them capital input. And then continued technical assistance. And you will see, everybody laughs because I follow the rules. I'm a rule follower. So what I do know is that we're going to make sure you're compliant and oversight. By nature, I'm a CPA, a CFE, a CIA, all them Cs. And I'll tell you that one of the things our firm has always been done has been auditors. So our audit hat is used as we develop and monitor your programs. So program design, I'll just let you know, first come, first serve, one application for one owner of businesses. We've looked at our lessons learned. People can have multiple businesses. Well, they're going to have to pick which business they want to put as a part of this program apply for. If in fact that business isn't approved and the window of application is still open, they can apply for another program, another program for another business. So these are the general final awards issued by June. Owner, participants, application information, completion of at least 10 hours of technical assistance. We think that's very important for them as they use these grant dollars. Eligibility, 1 to 50 employees. We got to define small. We don't want to use SBA's definition because small is 26.5 million for most of the NAICS codes under SBA. So we've defined small, we've defined revenue, we've built in caveats like the business has to remain in the county for at least 1 year after. We don't want them to get your dollars, take them, and leave. So we think that's important. We're looking at 5 programs: capital improvement, relocation, small business incubator, payroll assistance, and rent assistance. We've put kind of buckets of funding, and then the potential estimated number of awards. So as I said, this is a lot. So I want you all to, first we can make this available to you, but I want you all to have opportunity to see we vetted it and thought this out. And under these programs like capital improvements, that's a larger bucket of funding because they're usually higher end projects. Relocation, small business, payroll assistance, and rent assistance. So these are proposed award amounts. And those funds will be used for these eligible uses. Now, we have a lot more detail. There's a lot more depth to these as far as our actual guidance, but this is an overview. Please, if you have any, I'm trying to get through this so I can get this in a few minutes, but if you have a question that you can't wait, please stop me. We have 3 phases: the application and screening, then we have the capacity building. That's when we are requiring them to keep this technical assistance, and finally, the funding and disbursements. Now, with the funding and with this program, and we've already met, the way it would work is BMC, we already have a platform, electronic platform for the application. Applications come in, they're going to be sent to BMC with a copy to SBOS. Why to SBOS? Because we want them to get them in their system to be able to do the technical assistance. Then we will do the documentation review. We will do the verification and the eligibility determination. And then ultimately, we'll make a recommendation to the city county. They will review all final projects. We'll tell them whether they've met the eligibility, whether they've been whether they comply, and then make a final award. After that, every month, they'll have to submit actual receipts, actual supporting documentation, proof that they're on the timeline to be able to spend the funds. And there'll be ongoing monitoring. As necessary, it might be site visits. We know that we're going to have to really monitor to make sure these funds are expended by November 30th. That's our date. We don't want to push it to December 31st. The structure. We talked about how does this money get on the street. Remember, I'm an auditor. We can't just send the money out. we gotta have some guardrails. So what we're proposing is an initial advance based on their risk assessment. I don't want to use too technical terms, but basically we're going to say who's high risk, who's low risk. The higher the risk, the less advance you get. Then after your advance, each month you have to do your actual expenditures, and there's a reconciliation. So no money's just getting thrown out on the street. We don't believe in that. We got to have guardrails. We got to protect the county and your constituents. Roles and responsibilities, this is, once again, just illustrating how we've met with the city, with SBOS. I think we all agreed, more importantly, to what the roles and responsibilities would be here. And I think you'll see that our company is in a situation where we're taking a responsibility to ensuring the county is in compliance and that there's adequate guardrails. Structure. So we talked about the benefits and risk. As I said, we're going with the advanced reimbursement structure. So this is a low medium. As an audit firm, we had to take into consideration. We discussed the other options. I know y'all have done direct vendor pay. Higher risk, we're not going to meet the deadline. Because if you do direct vendor pay, then you're relying on vendors to get you invoices and paying. So that's why we have that hybrid recommendation. General eligibility, this is more for this is just once again showing we've thought about what documents we need. We've done it before, so we kind of know what documents we need to be able to provide this program. Then eligible costs. We thought about what costs are eligible, what are ineligible. So we don't have to sit down and kind of figure it out. And when you have a program that's well vetted, you put better information on the street. So your applicants know what they can expect. Finally, we got a whole table. For each program, there's certain costs that are going to be eligible and ineligible. And as I said, this just reflects that this is a thought-out process. And so this whole vibrant small business pathways, your screening, then you have your technical assistance, and then for us, we've done the risk assessment to protect your dollars. Defense against fraud. I told you I'm a certified fraud examiner. So are several of my on the team working on this project. We are always defending against fraud. We are always mindful of federal grants and fraud, waste, and abuse. So robust screening. For instance, if you're getting monies, we're going to check your banking. We're going to make sure your companies and the bank statement reconciles. You're going to have to do a third-party verification. We do independent oversight and audits throughout the process. They're actually being audited every time they try to get money. It's an audit process. Strict fund controls and tracking. That's why we've taken that responsibility. So we're doing a risk-based disbursement. All things aren't equal. If you're higher risk, then you got to get less advanced because that's a higher risk to the county. Accountability and compliance, detailed documentation. I think anybody that's worked with us know how we rely on documentation. So we believe our defense against the fraud, once again, protects the county, which is always the concern. We're looking at being, if the county and city approve, and let's say April 1 is the start date, we're looking at having the application live by April 15th. So that means your small businesses will be able to go online and from April 15th to June 15th, apply for this program. We would be going rolling awards. So we would, as we determine that they should be awarded, we'll be making awards rolling through June 30th, 2026. So then that gives them from July and November to roll out their programs. That's why part of our initial application is so big on understanding whether they can meet the project timeline. FYI, we have program closeout through March 31st because Treasury has allowed us to April 30th, really, but March 31st to do closeout activities. They know you can't integrate the day and expect them to be closed out the same day. So this is why it benefits your community. We're looking at potentially, 2 million is about 4 million in your community because you're creating jobs, you're adding to revenue, you're sustaining jobs, you're potentially facilitating expansions and upgrades, and you're helping your small business communities. And then finally, we're going to track it. So we got till March 31st to close out. We're going to submit surveys to these participants and say, hey, how many new jobs did you generate from this? How many did you keep? How's your expansion efforts? Has your revenue increased? Is there more taxable revenue to the county? So that is the presentation relative to this program. And I'm losing my voice, but I welcome any questions.
So, Ms. Booth, you are, of course, monitoring all the opera funding and expenditures and so forth for the county.
Yes.
In terms of your opinion about what we've expended so far, have we been in compliance based upon your experience and what you've seen thus far? Have we been in compliance, or do you have any concerns about the expenditures for this program year to date?
So thank you so much. I don't necessarily, at this point, I know we've been working with you for a year. I do have to be candid and transparent with you all. When we initially started the engagement, we did have some concerns about the whole beneficiary subrecipient and how some of the projects were categorized. But we took the approach that we're going to use the highest standards. So even if the project was categorized as a beneficiary, and it's kind of a gray area of whether it's really a subrecipient because there's different level of monitoring required. So we said, no, we're going to take the high road. Everybody's going to be treated as if they're at the highest level of requirement. So that did take us communicating with your subrecipients that their level of oversight and monitoring was going to increase as opposed to what it had been before. But to be honest, you didn't really have anything in place for compliance and monitoring. So that's really what we came for. So now we're acclimating your subrecipients to the fact that they have to provide a lot more documentation that is close to scrutiny. And they're coming along, but you got to think about it. They've been getting certain dollars for certain amounts, and now we're saying, oh, go back, give us all the receipts, everything for every dollar you ever spent. And so there's a transition period. So it's not a matter of having compliance issues yet, because we're giving them an opportunity to get in compliance. So you can't come in and say, I need it tomorrow. And we work with them. We give them, we give them time. Some things we have to explain, because a lot of them did not have federal grants. And federal rules are federal rules. They're not Robbins rules, they're federal rules. So when you ask a question about compliance, we'll have a better temperature on it once we get through this process. But right now, we're acclimating your subrecipients to a higher level of monitoring. But that, is that,
We want highest level monitoring available, and I appreciate you doing that.
yeah. Did that answer your question?
It did, but since you're not the U.S. Treasurer, and I say that with all due respect,
Of course.
if you find, and I hope you don't find anything, if there are a few challenges, and so forth in terms of how we should have behaved, what do you do about it?
Well, that's where the compliance. What happened, happened. We can't change what happened, but what we can do is make sure that the county is on track to be in full compliance at the highest level. It may be that you didn't have to do this. We could have said, oh, there's certain classification, so we don't got to worry about that. We're not doing that. So it really is one of the things we don't do because we know better is we don't got to go try to fix or change what was not necessarily what we consider compliance. We do it proactively. So I think both Miss Regina and Mr. Ken, I'm from the north, so I'm not used to saying Miss in front of first name, so I'm trying to do better. But anyway, I think they'll let you know one of the first things we do is say we got to look at everything. I'm making no assumptions. And then we came back to them and said, we got to do full compliance because I'm not comfortable that I can rely on determinations that were not made by our firm.
Please continue. Look at everything and full audit on every ARPA dollar we spent.
Yes,
Please do
and I
that.
need y'all to be patient, because I don't want your,
We'll be
because if we
patient. We'll
push your
make sure.
subrecipients too hard, they're gonna come here and start. So we're trying to work, we're working with them to bring, and they're coming. It's getting better, it's getting better and everybody works closely with us. But we also have to be mindful that they're doing, these are your constituents, they're doing good work. So we just gotta make sure they do it in compliance.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Ms.
And
Booth.
your oversight of the program, and coming down to talk about the small business program, is that just part of your overall responsibility, or is that a different contract?
So that would be additional, because that's with the, that would be additional. So I know that I won't get into the budgeting part,
Sure,
because
that's
that's not
okay.
my role. But that would be additional under our existing, it's within the scope of our contract. But this specific level of program delivery for this program is not necessarily in the budgeted amounts that we've proposed to
It's
date.
in addition to.
Yes, but of your, within your ARPA dollars, not new money. This is already in the budget, proposed budget, but now it's just that the line, who's doing what work changes. I think before, when this program, it may have been suggested that someone else was going to do the program delivery. We're doing that now, so it's like you could replace us on that line item. We're doing that now, if this program is approved.
I want to just talk about Hope Financial Institution for just a second, then I'll be done. Are they still involved in the picture? And maybe Mr. Robinson can answer that, because I understand there was still some monies out there, some outstanding dollars out there that they.
I'm sorry, on which, are we
Hope-
talking about?
We're talking about Hope Financial, Mr. Robinson.
So, okay, now let me just say this one thing about Hope. They're also, they gotta submit all that documentation to us too. They're not exempted because it's a credit union. So they're going to the same level, and they have been responsive. So once again, we'll have more information as we continue to allow, everybody to kind of come into this new compliance era.
So are we done with them, or are there still some monies that they are holding?
No, they're done. So they have relinquished the monies, and all the money has come back and to be reallocated, as Robin just said. So Hope is no longer working with us in a partnership going forward.
And so what do we have left? What dollar amount do we have left to fund this small business initiative?
So it's
What do we-
2.7 million to fund, and part of that, as Robin has said, it was already for technical assistance. We just changed the line. Hope was doing part of that, and now the booth management will be doing part of that as well, along with SPOS.
Frank, initially, it was $5 million, right?
Right.
There's 2.7 left. And I think at the last meeting, we were told only one company qualified for the program. So where's the 2.3 million gone?
Some of that went to technical assistant. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 3 companies.
It's a total of one company that has been funded, and it's $3,015,000 left that will come over to this side.
So one company's been funded, and so one company's been, we had 5 million, one company's been funded, 1 million's left?
You had 2.7 million over at Hope.
And what, now, and where's that money? It's still at Hope?
No, it never left the city or the county. They get reimbursed, so they only got a $225,000 advance.
Okay, so I guess my question was, just out of curiosity, the city, county, ARPA funding put 5 million in.
Yes, sir.
And how much have we got left today? 2.7?
3 million.
3 million. So where'd that 2 million go?
Oh, SBOS has 1.76.
SBOT,
That was their original award. So the original award was broken up 1.76 and 3.27.
1.76.
Yes, sir.
So that 1.76 is still there, it's gone?
Well, they've been operating for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they've helped how many companies, new small businesses?
What was that number we sent y'all? Was it 9 something? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's that big report that we just sent y'all with all the individual names.
Okay. All right, well, we got to move on because it's 10:03.
I just have one last question,
please.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah,
Ms.
please,
Anderson. So apparently you all have another 709, these are just your numbers, $709,383.17. Do you expect to be able to operate with that, the balance that you all have in your budget? Or do you need, will you be looking for additional money? Now, this is the balance I got from your numbers, that SBOS has $709,383.17 left to manage or whatever you're all doing with this program. They. Yes, ma'am. So that dollar amount is sufficient.
That will take care of their last year.
Okay, so we don't have to take it, we're not taking anything from that 3,015,000.
No, sir, this is a whole new program, so this is work that SBOS was not doing. So for the work that SBOS will do with this program, they will be compensated out of the program
So
as
it's
well.
additional pay now for SBOS?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. Because they'll have additional work that they weren't obligated to do.
So, are you saying we don't have 3,015,000 for the small business that may qualify?
You have 2 million for the small businesses. That's what
But you
Ms. Robin was
subtract,
talking
you
about.
gotta subtract, what he's asking, you gotta subtract fees from it, right? So you
Yeah,
don't have to
yes, ma'am.
subtract SBOS money from it.
Yes,
And you don't
ma'am.
have to track booth, okay.
Correct.
Okay, so overall, we 2.7 million for the small business people.
2 million is available in grant funding.
Okay, I'll have some more questions. Go ahead, I don't want to hold it up. I'm not even, I thought I was clear, but I'm not clear.
If you got some
No,
more
go
questions
ahead. No,
after,
go
after
ahead.
the meeting, can y'all hang around after the formal session and we'll sit and talk a little bit?
Thank you.
Is that okay, Jose?
Yes, sir.
You good with that? Okay. We're gonna take a recess.
We got
for-
one more speaker.
We got one more? Who we got?
One more. Executive Director Pam Hughes with the Mid-South RC&D Council.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pam.
Good morning. Thank you for having us with you today. First of all, I would like to thank the Montgomery County Commission for being one of the sponsors for Mid-South RC&D and for allowing Regina Walker to serve as the Montgomery County Board member. She has done a phenomenal job for you, representing you and representing Mid-South and representing our county as our board member, and we appreciate her service so much. I'm here today to talk about our grant program that opens up April the 1st and runs through June the 30th. There are pamphlets or flyers out here that give more information about the grant program. But as a quick reminder, our grant cycle, we fund projects in Montgomery County and in 7 additional counties. We have education funds and general grant funds, so we have usually around $60,000, $70,000 that we're able to put into Montgomery County. It just depends on the number of applications that come through the other counties. But I'm here to remind you that we fund nonprofit organizations, subunits of government, and units of government. We've done quite a few grants with Montgomery County Commission over the years in your parks and different areas. We have funded a good many nonprofits. We are trying to focus more from our educational point on our schools It would be great if you have connections with Montgomery County School System to encourage them to apply for grants with us. That's been one of our weakest links, is being able to get into the schools, to be able to share our program. Our program is very beneficial to our 8 counties. We are here to serve. We're here to serve our constituents. We're very thankful to the Alabama legislature, who believes in the RC&D program, and they continue to put us in the state budget every year. Do you have any questions?
You're going to be back at 12 noon for the
Yes,
general public?
yes, we will be here for the Faces of Mid-South at 12 o'clock. We encourage anyone in the audience who would like to know more about our grant program to stay and meet with us. So we are looking forward to that.
We appreciate you. We don't usually get people coming here to give money away, so we certainly appreciate that. You say you only have $70,000? It's a lot of folks are coming at 12 noon. It's not going to be enough money.
Well, it depends. Like I said, we have $1 million budget.
Oh.
But, you know, we have 8 counties fighting for money.
Yes, ma'am.
So the more quality applications you get in and turn into us, the more Montgomery County can get.
What's the maximum dollar amount?
The minimum grant's $5,000, the maximum is $25,000. And we are reimbursement, so,
Is the meeting in here at noon? Okay. At noon.
yes.
Good.
And we'll even have a sandwich for you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you, Pam, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all of you.
Do we need to take a break, or can we keep right on going?
Keep on going.
All right,
Come
keep on going, okay.
Let's go.
Tammy, do you need time to turn it over?
All right,
Oh, she need a break. She need a break.
all right, 2 or 3 minute
Yeah.
quick break. And Tammy, you let me know when you're ready and we'll crank up. So don't go anywhere.